What's up, everyone? This is Hannah from Made to Move Physical Therapy.
And this is Elliot from Prime Performance Rehab.
We are super excited to announce that we are officially merging. So Prime Performance Rehab and Made to Move Physical Therapy are now becoming one. We are joining forces, and we are all going to be Made to Move Physical Therapy.
Yeah, guys, we're so excited for this merger. We've been waiting for it for a long time. We feel like a lot of people have kind of seen it coming just with Hannah and I joining forces, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of hard work, and we're excited to get to share it with you.
Yeah, so really we wanted to answer any questions that we think people might have about this, and we wanted to explain a little bit of the background too of how this got started. So let's start with, Elliot, can you give them your story a little bit more about what Prime Performance is?
Yeah. So Prime Performance Rehab is my baby. It's my physical therapy company that I started in order to help patients get out of pain and get back to doing the things they love to do. Ever since day one, we've used Made to Move as kind of our guide or our template, if you will, when trying to establish a company that can help as many people in Charleston as we possibly can. And so when I started the company, I knew I wanted to use Made to Move as kind of my guide. And then moving forward after that, we really just wanted to empower as many people to move and move freely and move often. And we just really wanted to promote an idea of movement optimism, right? We really wanted people to understand that their bodies are strong, resilient, and adaptable. And I know that's something that Made to Move preaches almost every day. So the merger just really made sense for us, right? And when trying to decide, like, okay, is this the right decision for us? Should we merge? Should I just stay separate? And things like that. It really came down to our mission, right? And my mission was to impact as many people in Charleston as I possibly could, trying to help as many people as I possibly can. And we can definitely do that better together than we could separately. So the merger made sense.
Yeah, it was almost like we could spend all our time building these two really great but separate, almost identical businesses and be separate, or we could just do all of this together.
Right.
And having you, and then also we'll talk about having Rachel, it just offers us like more knowledge and more experiences so we can reach more people, connect with more people.
Yeah.
And really, like, anytime you add people to the team, especially people that you know and you trust, it's a unique opportunity, and it's also a really great way to like get a different perspective, because it's been me, Eve, and Rachel and Dane for a little while now. Like, we like to confirm our biases, like we all do similar things, and now we have Kayla in the past couple months that's also like kind of covers a different niche. And so to have you and to have Rach, we have to call her Rach because we already have a Rachel.
I know, it's frustrating.
We're gonna have to figure that out. We can call her Heller.
No,
but I don't think she likes that.
She's not gonna like that.
Yeah. So to explain a little bit about like how these conversations started, and I kind of wrote about this in the blog. Like, I remember when you created Prime, and we were in Mississippi, we were in quarantine of 2020, and we had all this time on our hands, and you were very much like, I'm going to burn the ships. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to a traditional insurance clinic mill. I don't want to do this as a side hustle. Like, you had been with Andrew Millett at Move Strong, at Eric Cressy enough, and I hope that I've infiltrated your brain enough, and you were like, there's no other option. And I remember sitting there trying to come up with names.
Right.
And then fast forward a year later, and you have 2 locations. I don't want to get emotional, but I'm like really, really proud of everything you've done. And I just think you're an amazing clinician. You're an amazing business owner. I know, sorry.
Don't make me cry.
I think Rach is an amazing clinician. And so it was almost like, I really want to be a part of Made to Move, but also like Elliot is doing this really amazing thing. Like, I want to share, like, I want to do this together. Like, it made me really excited to think about doing this together. And we were at dinner, and if you haven't been to Jack of Cups, you got to go to Jack of Cups. And we were sitting there, and you were like, what if we merged? And we were like, haha. And then we were like, wait, like, what if we merged?
Right.
And I remember bringing it back to a staff meeting, and I said it, and Rachel screamed, and she was like, ah, and I was like, okay, what? And Eve was like, I've considered this. And Dave was like, I figured this conversation would happen eventually. And we like pushed it down the road. We're like, yeah, this is great, but like, we're busy. And then I was like, oh, like the more, because I know you wanted to grow, we wanted to grow, and we were all in a place where we were like, let's do this. The more we grew our businesses, the harder it would be logistically to come together like 2 years down the line. And we were almost like, what are we waiting for? Ethos hasn't opened yet, right? Like, we're not crazy slammed with all of these different things. And so we started having the conversation, and then fast forward a few months later again, and now it's happening. And it's like, we've been working really hard over the past few months to get everything ready for y'all and to be able to announce it, make sure everything is done, and that we're all like ready to start this thing. But I'm super excited. I think it kind of feels like Christmas. Yeah, it's just really, it's really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it really well. I do remember kind of sitting in Mississippi in quarantine, trying to figure all this out. Just coming off of that rotation up at Cressy with Andrew, trying to figure out, okay, like, where do I fit in the physical therapy world? I knew I wanted to live in Charleston. I knew I could not go back to a traditional insurance-based, physical therapy clinic. So I was just kind of stuck, right? There was only one cash-based clinic in Charleston at the time, and they were hiring, which was great, but turns out they hired Hannah instead.
Sorry.
Which is fine, right? It allowed me to take a chance, to take a leap, and creating Prime. It's definitely something. I'm obviously super flattered. I poured my heart and soul into it, and it's definitely something that I'm really, really proud of. And getting to take this next step with you is it's honestly a dream come true, right? Taking something you've worked so hard at, taking something that you're so proud of, and then getting to quite literally double, triple that impact that we're about to have now with Made to Move is going to be really special.
Yeah. So what this means for y'all, our patients and our clients, really, it doesn't mean that anything has to change or that anything changes. Our new locations for us, like, they're new, West Ashley and downtown.
Right.
Technically, Prime's new locations would be Somerville and Daniel Island. So we're in those 4 spots. You will keep seeing your physical therapist in that location, right? Because you've already built that relationship. There's no need to rock the boat.
Yeah.
It just means for future patients, we have more options and more access and more locations.
Yeah. To go along with that, Rachel Heller, who is our other physical therapist, she'll be primarily at our downtown location, which is at Ethos Athletic Club. I'll primarily be at Ironbridge CrossFit in West Ashley. I will retain some patients at Ethos just because those are the relationships that I've developed there as well. So I will have some hours downtown, but I'll mostly be in West Ashley. And then obviously most of y'all's listeners know that Hannah and Kayla are at Daniel Island, and then Rachel DiGiacomo in Somerville. So 4 locations, hoping to serve the greater Tri-County area, right?
The Tri-County area. Yeah. The other cool thing that I kind of keep like reminding myself of why we did this is that so we could, like, we don't need 2 websites anymore. We don't need 2 people stressed out about social media. We just need 1 person stressed out about social media and the website. And so it allows us to all do more of the things that we're passionate about and the things that we want to do. It allows us to see more patients. It allows us to be in the community more, so that when we're doing workshops, it's not like I'm doing a back workshop for Made to Move and he's doing a back workshop for Prime. Like, we're all serving the same purpose. And like he said before, like, we have the same mission. We preach the same things. Like, we preach that we're strong, resilient, and adaptable, and foundational, like, movement optimism is at our core, and trying to solve people's problems, trying to decrease barriers. We're doing the same things. And it's really unique and rare to find not just like a healthcare professional that you trust, but especially in the PT world, honestly, I would say someone that does practice a lot like you. We're in the same model. We're in the cash-based direct pay model, and we also like each other, and we also get along, and like our whole team likes each other and gets along too. So it's just almost like a no-brainer.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if there's really not anything else changing except we just have 4 locations now instead of 2. And we have Elliot as a PT, and then also Dr. Rachel Heller as a PT as well. Very excited for everyone to meet her. She's a rock star.
Yeah. And, you know, with our team growing so much, like obviously Prime's team is growing, you know, 200%. With the team growing so much, yeah, we have a lot of the same, you know, beliefs, a lot of the same like core values, which is really important in something, you know, as big as this merger could be. But also gaining all that expertise, gaining all that, you know, different insight, different experience, right? Like it honestly helps me challenge my own beliefs, right? Like you're not going to sit in a room with 7, 8 people and all have the, you know, the exact same cookie cutter beliefs. So like, while we have kind of the same foundation that we're all standing on, like it's honestly been really challenging and really beneficial for all of us, right? To learn from one another and to learn, you know, different things just that, that each person's gotten to experience. It's been a really cool little mix with that.
Yeah, like we all work out in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got the CrossFit, we got that covered.
Right.
We have a yogi now, our resident yogi. We got running, we have sports, we have tennis, we have golf, we have, I mean, maybe even like triathlons. We have lifting, Olympic lifting, powerlifting. Like now it's not just 3 CrossFitters sitting in a room talking about CrossFit, which is great. It's honestly like a dream, but it is really cool to be like, to have a different perspective, because it makes us better clinicians too, because
definitely
in 5 years from now, in 10 years, and 15, whatever, we don't want to be the ones that are treating outdated models or that are treating, you know, we want to treat at the top of our license. I remember Dr. Kraft always said that, and I loved it. And bringing more people on and challenging ourselves, that's what makes you grow. And that's what helps us continue to help people and provide the most value and help people in the best way that we can. And that's always something that we've both been very passionate about and why we chose this route. Are there any other questions that people might have?
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is our location. So we'll be called Made to Move universally.
Made to Move Universal?
No, we'll be called Made to Move. The foundations on what we're standing on don't change at all, right? It's more just kind of logistics, right? Emails will change, name will change, signs on buildings will change, all of that. How you get in contact with us, right, is still through the Made to Move channels. You know, if you're looking for a downtown, you know, physical therapist or a West Ashley physical therapist, right, we still want you to go through the Made to Move channel, even though that's been, you know, primarily for their 2 locations, right? So you'll contact Made to Move, you'll contact that email, that phone number, things like that, and go through that channel directly, and then you'll be able to get a session at downtown West Ashley. So from y'all's end, from Made to Move end, it really doesn't change a whole lot. From Prime's end, it changes a little bit more. You know, we want to make sure we're directing people through the same route. You know, like our phone number, our email, they'll still be active, right? We'll still be able to text, respond, anything like that if, you know, calls and texts come through. But we are going to start directing people towards that Made to Move website, Made to Move Instagram, things like that. That's probably the biggest change, I would say.
We have a lot of Prime shirts. That's another change. And then if you are listening to this, if you use the word merger in either your phone call or your contact us form or your email, you can get 50% off of your initial eval. So you have to use the word merger. 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 Right? Yeah. Spelling bee.
You got it.
Yeah. And then we got a lot of Prime shirts. It means more worms everywhere. It means more people to be in cheesy reels, which is really why I wanted to do this. I think that's what I'm most excited about. Content Day has just even more power behind it.
That's not.
Because Rach is going to love it. You're going to hate it. Rach is going to be in it.
Yeah, she will. She's
great at social media. I think the reels have been great. I'm sure our listeners agree. But yeah, Made to Move website, Made to Move phone number. Like nothing changes about your treatment. You know, it's still one-on-one with your therapist. You're not going to be switching around. We very much value that relationship. And if anyone has any questions, DM us, check out our website, call us, text us, email us. Like we'd love to answer any questions because we're really excited about this. We hope everyone else is really excited about this too. And now we are one. No, I thought you were gonna like.
What? That's what you wanted? Surely that can't be the end.
Do you want to do the worm?
No, we're not. Guys, thank you so much. This has been fun. Please reach out if you have any questions.
Thanks, everyone.